Naegele has the luxury of having my phone number so that I can then text him every time I go to anything beer related or have a beer question. It could happen in the middle of the night. What do you think of this beer? And I threw out a few at you. We were at a couple of different places. We were at the Ithaca Brewery,
which is fantastic,
and it was really nice.
Just celebrating their 21st year.
Really cool, as Fritz's Polka Band was there.
Oh.
And then there was.
Did you use your press pass to get in there covering Fritz's Polka Band?
It's funny because they said, "Well, you can't go back there and say hi to him." I said, "Well, just watch me." And the key to that is because you had to pay for a ticket to go back in to see the band. Mm-hmm. And the key to that is making it look like you were going where you're going. And I just kept walking, didn't look either way, and then all I wanted to do was say hi.
I keep a roll of gaffer's tape in my car.
You have to have that, yeah. So that was cool. And the other place was. Well,
there's Three Heads Brewery out that way.
Three Heads Brewery.
But there's three of everything. I mean,
but this
if you've thought of a good beer name, three other people have already thought of it.
This was not just a brewery, but it was a whole complex. There were four different, three wineries and a brewery at this place. And it was like something you'd see out of Disney. They had bands playing.
What kind of Disney
walking.
do you go to?
Let me tell you, you got to go to that nighttime thing. It's a lot of fun. But this, and they had all of these unique beers that are doing obviously they're doing well because they've invested, has to be well over $1 million into that place.
You know, I was remiss for not mentioning this 2 weeks ago when I was on. You were asking, what to do this weekend, and yeah, I had a couple of events, and I went back to the office, and Tom McRae said, you didn't mention 1911, and you didn't mention Good Nature or Empire. We have so many nice little Saturday trips that are within 40-minute drive of your front door, and you get to go see where, in the case of 1911, where it's growing and then fermented, or in the case of Empire, where they produce all these beers that you find on your store shelves.
And that's right here in our own backyard.
Absolutely, it's a great way to spend a day.
It is nice to take a trip out to the Finger Lakes, but it used to be all wine. Now it's beer. This is called War Horse Brewing Company.
Yep, I'm familiar.
You familiar with them?
Yep, very good.
And
stuff.
They have all unique. There's a lemon beer that is it's almost a cross between a beer.
Joe Lode is in his car right now on his way there.
Joe's on his way out there. It's it was really, really good. But again, that facility has 3 wineries and a brewery on it, and it was like going to a theme park or something. That's how this is growing in the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in upstate New York.
Well, I really. I don't really have anything to say.
Well, I will say this.
I lost my train of thought there. This is a really good beer for losing your train of thought.
I texted Naegele and said, "This is one of the coolest places I've ever been to," and he said, "You clearly don't get out." So there you have it. All right, what have you? This is Founders.
This is Founders out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
They do quite a job here, and this is something.
A lot of what they're most widely known for making a really easy drinking IPA called All Day IPA.
Yeah.
And it's taken the beer world by storm, and it's spawned a lot of imitators. But one of the other things that they do very well is barrel-aged beers. They, in Grand Rapids, have miles and miles of former garnet mines underneath the city. And they have access to them, so they can cave-age beer down there.
Okay.
So they buy bourbon barrels, and they put their beers in bourbon barrels and put it down there for months, sometimes years. And this is a beer called Dirty Bastard that has spent a year in a bourbon barrel, and it comes out, and they call it Backwoods Bastard. And it's 11.5% alcohol.
Wow. What
Anybody who knows me
this.
knows that my spirit animal is a flannel shirt, and this is like a flannel shirt. This is a flannel shirt in a bottle.
There's no doubt about it. It's a buffet, by the way. It's not just a meal. That's a meal in a bottle.
It's delicious.
All sorts of flavors. And you taste a little of that bourbon.
Yeah, you get a little bourbon, brown sugar, molasses flavor, but also like toasty, roasty, sort of caramelized notes from the malt that goes into it, kind of like a roasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
Without being sweet or cloying. It's just
love it.
It really hides its alcohol quite well until you start talking.
And 0 carbs.
Zero carbs. Yeah.
You're on today, Naegele. We should have had you at the roast last week.
Well, I was worried about that. He could have said things. Naegele. His best line is use this as a cologne.
Absolutely.
This is so good.
Absolutely. Just a dab.
Little
dab will do you.
Just a little dab. All right, Naegele. It's available all over the place.
Yep, for a limited time.
In better beer places everywhere.
Better beer stores everywhere.
Okay. All right, good stuff, Naegele. As always, we'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Cheers.